She is ready to be put back down and have dinner. This way. A Yeti, but who knows? It's a mystery. Hi everyone! Welcome to MOCACREATE at home. My name is Taylor and I'm an educator at MOCA, and this is my cat, Roux. If this is your first time joining us for MOCACREATE at home, welcome. And if you're returning, welcome back. I'll tell you just a little bit about what we do here. We talk about MOCA, the museum, our mission, our collections, what we teach at the museum, and we make a fun art project together. Today, Roux and I are very excited to learn about Ming Cho Lee with all of you. Ming was a well-known set designer. A set designer is a person who designs or plans the environment or space where a performance is going to take place. So that's usually designing what the stage is going to look like. He designed for Broadway shows, for the Metropolitan Opera, ballet, Shakespeare in the Park, and a lot of other different types of theater and performances. He won a Tony for Best Set Design, as well as a Tony for Lifetime Achievement. He was an American Theater Hall of Fame inductee. He received a National Medal of Arts. He was a professor at Yale, and he was honored by MOCA in 2010. MOCA even had a retrospective. That's an exhibit that looks back on the art and life of a particular person. Ming passed away in October of this year at the age of 90, and we wanted to do this MOCACREATE to honor him. A little bit more about Ming Cho Lee. He was born in Shanghai in 1930. In 1949, he came to the U.S. to go to college at Occidental, where he was one of only 3 Chinese students, and was roommates with the first ever African-American student to graduate from the college. In 1954, he started assisting with set design, and by 1962, he was leading his own projects. Ming had an innovative, or new and different design style that had a huge impact on the theater arts world. His work was minimal and stark, was influenced by different visual art styles, and he focused on the play and the important elements or themes from the story instead of trying to focus on making the set look real or realistic. A lot of Ming's most famous works focus on height. They include a lot of materials that were really visible to the audience and weren't hidden, like metal poles or scaffolding. And he usually used only a few different materials, and his scenes were more abstract instead of realistic. Ming's 1983 Tony-winning set for K2 is a great example of his work. What materials is this set made of? If you look closely, you can see that it's really tall, so it has that height that I talked about. It's pretty simple, and Ming only used a few materials, and those are styrofoam and wood. Today, we are going to create a set showing a winter wonderland. So to start off, I want you to close your eyes and imagine a winter wonderland. In your mind's eye, I want you to look all around you, look up, look down, look in front of you. Next, a set designer will make a lot of quick, simple sketches of the set. These are called thumbnails. For this step, we just need a paper and pencil. We can draw all of these thumbnail sketches on just one sheet of paper, which is what I did. We can even take this piece of paper and fold it a certain way so that we have different boxes to draw our sketches into. I did one showing like the whole scene, one showing what like the back wall would look like, one showing the like middle ground. So I did a few different ones showing different parts of my set. Now that I have some sketches of my scene, my next step as a set designer is to create a rough model. Now, a rough model is not going to have a ton of detail, and it's really going to just be made out of a couple of materials, and that's paper, cardboard, and glue. This step is called rough for a reason. You can use scissors to cut your pieces, but you can even go ahead and just rip them up. We basically want to get a general idea of what the set will look like. It's a good idea to use a box as your set. And remember that Ming liked to make his sets really tall. So if you're going to use a box, you might want to try using it this way instead of this way. Here is my winter wonderland. Now, this is not a fully finished version of this set. Today I'm going to just be showing you a few different steps of what you can do leading up to making a full-blown, full-color model of a set. For the trees, I made little tabs to help them stand up. So when I say tabs, I basically mean if you have a piece of cardboard, and let's say I want it to look like this, and I'm ready to glue it down, I'm just gonna fold the bottom to make a little tab like this, and then when I'm ready to glue it down or stick it down into my set, I can just glue the tab here and stick it just like that. Another method you can use to make things 3D instead of just tabs is cutting and fitting pieces together. So that just means you're gonna cut a slit in one of your pieces of cardboard. You're going to do the same actually in both of them. And then you just slide the cuts in so that they fit together like this. And then it'll be able to stand up. Something else you might want to try is just crumbling your paper. This will be a great technique for things like bushes, or if you're gonna have like snowbanks or hills or mountains. So you can see that I included just the most important things in this version of my set. I have all of my trees, and if you look down, I have some details that I thought were important, like footsteps and my clouds up here. And remember that this model is 3D and you can use the sides of your box too. So I added my clouds on the sides of the box, and can we see there? You can even see my footsteps start here. They go back and then they go up, even disappearing here into like the background. Now, if we were real set designers, once we had our thumbnails and our rough models, we would talk more with the other people who were working on the theater performance. We would adjust things based on their feedback, what they said, what they were thinking about the performance. We'd make a more detailed sketch called a rendering that would have a lot more little details. And then we'd make a white model that's really focused on how we would build and construct the set. Finally, we would make a full color model and then build the real set that would be used during rehearsals by the performers. Now that's a lot of work. If you decide that you made your rough model and you are ready to move on and you really want to see a more final version, you can use any sort of recyclables or materials that you have at home. One thing that I have is this cool foam that came in a package that I got, and this would be great to use as something, any kind of snow-covered elements, parts of my set, maybe like a hill, or even if I had a really snowy tree or bush, or I could even sort of cut it up and turn it into snow to put on the floor of my set. Of course, paint will be great to use for this. You can also use paper and glue that or tape that down over different elements. You can of course use markers, colored pencils. For just some of the small background details in my rough model, I used oil pastel, and that worked pretty well. So that's another option that could help bring your set to life. Thank you so much for joining us today. Roux and I would love to see your winter wonderlands. We're curious to know if you made maybe a cityscape in the winter, or if your scene is in the woods or in a tiny town. And we want to see how Ming Cho Lee's design style inspired you. You can share with us by tagging at MOCANYC, using the hashtag MOCACREATE@home, or DMing or emailing us directly. Thank you so much, and Roux and I hope that you are having a great start to your winter and holiday season. Bye everyone!